welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern at the request of Patreon subscriber Andy, and this is Racoon Typhoon. The super short version of what this deck does is it puts Omniscience into play and then it wins. The ways in which it does that, which are far more interesting and convoluted. The namesake of the deck, Bramble Familiar. This is our Racoon. It's a mana dork on the front, but there's a 7 mana quest on it, an adventure. Mill 7 cards, put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among the milled cards onto the battlefield. 7 is a big chunk of your deck. There are 6 Omniscience effects in here, plus Hullbreaker Horror, so 8 giant hits in the deck for that. We don't plan on paying 7 mana for this, though. What we've got is Release to the Wind. Exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. Once I exile this card, this 2/2 Racoon, the game no longer cares what card it was last time it was in play, and I can play Fetch Quest, basically for 5 mana, 2 mana for the familiar, then 3 to release it, and then I can do the thing. Importantly though, I have played this deck once before on the channel, and it was before Modern Horizons 3, which means it was before Shifting Woodland. Holy smokes. If you've ever been a brewer, or just had a deck you like, maybe it's an EDH deck, maybe it's a Legacy or Modern deck, just whatever, and the perfect printing comes along for the deck you've been working on anyway, that's what Andy got to live when Shifting Woodland was printed. If you have Delirium, you can pay 4 mana to turn this land into any permanent in your graveyard, which includes Omniscience, is of course a permanent. And then that gives us Malevolent Rumble, also from Modern Horizons 3, as 4 looks at charging up Delirium, finding a payoff, and dumping an Omniscience. Grapple with the Past, kind of Malevolent Rumble number 5, ways to get cards into the graveyard. Drowned Rusalka. The OGs know about the Rusalka cycle. These cards were good, believe it or not, back in the day. And Andy is into it again here now. It's a quick way to turn a card in your hand into Delirium, or into a reanimated Omniscience, or into a Life from the Loam. Discard a card, then draw a card. You could discard Loam, then immediately dredge Loam and take a huge shot at your graveyard. Drowned Rusalka is a role player here. And then once the Omniscience is in play, Archer's Charm can tutor Eternal Witness or Bay of Wishes. If you use Archer's Charm to tutor Eternal Witness then gets back Charm. Charm gets Bay of Wishes. Bay of Wishes gets Time Warp. And then we're doing stuff. If you don't have Hullbreaker Horror yet, you can Charm for Witness, Witness for Charm, Charm for Hullbreaker, play Hullbreaker, play literally any spell to bounce Eternal Witness, then Witness gets Druid, gets Fae, Fae gets Time Warp bounces Eternal Witness, which then picks up Time Warp, and that's infinite turns. That's where we're headed with that. Eternal Witness plus Unauthorized Exit can surveil your whole deck away until you find whatever you need in the graveyard to then pick up with the Witness. If you have Shark Typhoon in play, Witness plus Release is infinite 3/3s. Basically, once you could cast spells for free, it becomes trivial to go infinite in some way. And that's the end game we're working towards, getting preferably Omniscience, but one with the Multiverse and Hullbreaker Horror also do messed up stuff. Get one into play, and then win. Let's do it. This is Racoon Typhoon, now with Shifting Woodland. I'm on the draw in round 1. I'm going to keep my hand. I have Rumble and Loam that can dig for the Shifting Woodland. Playing against an Arid Mesa strategy on the draw. Might just get run over. This deck can go off on turn 3. If you have a turn 2 Rumble that creates Delirium and dumps a Omniscience, you can actually just win on turn 3. We'll see if we get there that quickly. Ooh, Familiar. I don't think I am ready or interested in this right now. Yeah, I'm just going to bin that. I don't have a Release, and Malevolent Rumble and Loam only dig up permanents or lands. A tap land kept the card on top. Basic Island, that's nice. Sometimes these decks play Blood Moon, and I would rather just not lose to that in game 1. Shifting Woodland has appeared Rusalka, Familiar. This is only 2 card types. It'll be 3 with the Rumble itself. Rusalka can dump the one with the Multiverse, and I can loam back Woodland. Yeah, I'm going to take Rusalka here, actually. The Boros decks have also been main decking Raven Charm, which can exile graveyards. Quite a bit of passive hate. Alright, I'm going to sack this so they don't get any energy. It was going to die anyway. At least don't give them a Dark Ritual. Okay, now they're discharging their own creature. Just trying to get any pressure going. Weird open here from them. Okay, I've taken a medium amount of damage now. Okay, I might just rumble into Loam here. I have the Rusalka. Alright, yeah, I'm going to start with a rumble off basic land. I'll take Eternal Witness. Just get that thing in the bank. Get back Beseju and 2 Shifting Woodlands with Loam. And then I'll just discard a hand size. I don't have actual Omniscience here, which is kind of disappointing. Discard Multiverse and Misty Rainforest. Omniscience, I would already have the game one. One with the Multiverse, you only get 1 free spell per turn. It's easy peasy, taking it slow over there. Dump to Flage. This is a full value Max Insano situation. They are paying, so I'll go to 11, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Might die next turn. Gotta do something here. Yeah, I would just have the game one right now if this was Omniscience. However, now I have to work a little bit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can go to 1 and have Hullbreaker Horror in play. Once during each of my turns, I may cast a spell for free. So I can't, like, ambush them with Hullbreaker Horror on their turn. I'm a mana short of Unauthorized Exit to bounce the Guide of Souls. Maybe I was supposed to dredge Loam for my draw, because I already had the cards lined up and just 3 looks at Omniscience. Okay, I think I messed this up. But I will play to the out that I have, which is the Shark Typhoon on top of my deck is not the out that I have. Okay, I'll cast Hullbreaker Horror. That's my free spell for the turn. And I'm either at 1 or dead. Arena of Glory, definitely dead. Okay. They need 1 more card in the graveyard, though. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. If they can play any creature, I'm dead. Because they now have 2 energy. Okay, that'll do. Okay, tight one. Came down to hitting the worst of the 2 Omnisciences. Okay, red Boros Energy. I don't think I'm worried about much here. It's Thraben Charm. Blood Moon is relevant because it turns off the woodland. I could also just like bring in some endurances and play for a mid game rather than trying to just race them. The extra Beseju answers Static Prison or Blood Moon. I think I'm going to turn a Loam into a Spell Pierce, and that's all I'm really going to do. Just very light touch here. I will keep this hand. And I'm going to start with Preordain. Fae of Wishes, Shifting Woodland. I don't need either of these. Found a Familiar, who I cannot cast unless I draw an untapped green source. Arid Mesa from the opponent. Guide of Souls, here we go again. Unauthorized Exit, okay, I like that. Rusalka. I could play 2 cards next turn if I keep this Rusalka. It does bust with Loam. It blocks. Kind of. Yeah, sure, I'll leave that on top. Ooh, they didn't attack. Interesting. What are they worried about happening here? Oh, no plays at all? Fascinating. Alright, I'm going to play Bramble Familiar and Drown Rusalka. They're holding removal. They can decide which one they're worried about. I like them both. And I also don't care if either of them die. The perfect scenario. Okay, they're killing Bramble Familiar. Or they're misclicking. Uh-oh. Alright, well, I can't imagine they would have put 1 damage on that. Maybe they wanted to ritual their, just like ritual their Galvanic Discharge to get some energy for some reason, but they wouldn't have put 1 damage on it if that's the case. Okay, here we go. Another one of these. That one actually did defeat my creature. Okay, I'm playing on some borrowed time here, some house money. This Bramble Familiar should not be in play, but I'm gonna use it. Oh, okay, well, here we go, folks. Let's see if I win. Release this to the winds. We're gonna get a big flip here. I don't think these decks play Solitude or anything of the like. Okay, fetch quest. Big money, no whammies. There's a Hullbreaker Horror and a one with the Multiverse here. Again, no Omniscience. I think I'm going to take Multiverse. Okay. I'll take one with the Multiverse, because that lets me cast one of these spells for free, which could even be Eternal Witness for Hullbreaker Horror. Just checking if there's anything I'd rather Fae of Wishes for. I could just like wish for Fluster or Spell Pierce to make sure I still have my card next turn. Alright, I'm going to cast Eternal Witness and get my Hullbreaker Horror back. My top card is another Release the Wind. Static Prison. Okay, I have unauthorized exit for that. I'm in Static Prison. My world is a Static Prison. Oh, wow, they spent all their energy, which means they don't have... They just can't pay for Static Prison. I could let this die. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna chill for a second here. Okay, Life from the Loam targeting my 3 lands. So I have Beseiju for Static Prison now, if they do somehow generate mana at instant speed, and if they don't, I'll just have my thing back, and I can bounce Guide of Souls. There is a control angle of this deck. Here's the prison trigger. Yep, got that back. They found their second land. Am I in trouble? This does turn on Thraben Charm, a very important card right now. Guide of Souls, Numero Dos, and Numero Trace. Cool. I'm going to let them go to combat and see if they want to buff this Guide of Souls again. Let them spend their energy on a fruitless endeavor. Okay, they did spend fetch. I'm going to authorize this exit. I don't need another Release from the Wind. I'm going to Dredge Loam. I don't need this land, and if an Omniscience mills over, we're just infinite. He didn't hit an Omniscience there. I get Hullbreaker Horror for free. I'm going to fetch with Blooded Strand. I meant to play Eternal Witness first. Okay, hopefully that doesn't matter too much, but... Whoops. All right, basic Island. Ottawa is on top. That is much worse. I'm going to cast Bramble Familiar from Exile, which can bounce one of these Guide of Souls, and attack. And now I'm holding Release from the Wind, or Release to the Wind, which is a instant speed bounce target spell or permanent. They fetched land number 3 pretty quickly here. Guide of Souls is fine. Guide of Souls is fine. I'm just going to take 3 so I don't get got by any tricks here. Okay, end step. Release my Bramble Familiar to the Wind. I'll bounce this thing I just took 3 from, but at least they didn't have a Static Prison second main. Removal spell would fizzle this. Oh, they're going face? Interesting. Okay. Alright, my Familiar is once again released to the Wind. Omniscience on top of the deck. I'm going to fetch quest. Bounce your Guide of Souls. Okay, put Omniscience into play. And now we're out of here. Fae of Wishes granted using Omniscience. Cast it up with oh my god. I'm going to bounce Eternal Witness. Get Time Warp. Time Warp without paying its mana cost. I'd like to take an extra turn. Bounce your permanent. Eternal Witness. Nothing left to bounce. Get back Time Warp. Do you see the loop? Do you see it, opponent? Let's do the Time Warp again. What do you say? And I'm just going to do this until they've had enough. I only actually need to do it one more time. They're at 16. Cool. I'm taking 4 turns in a row now. Just attack you. And then I will go to my turn and attack you again. I could do a lot more here, but I don't need to. And why get fancy when you can just defeat your opponent? Exaxes. Okay, a tight one. Well, we literally only saw Guide of Souls out of their deck and 1 Static Prison for that entire game. Not a lot of info about their sideboard plan. Okay, I'm just going to hit submit then. Maybe Rusalka should be Spell Pierce. Okay. -1 Rusalka, +1 Spell Pierce. On the draw, Rusalka kind of slow. And Spell Pierce does hit the Thraben Charms, the Blood Moons, the thing we care about a lot. Okay, I have a Rumble, Loam. No way to slow them down. If they just have an aggro draw, I might get run over. However, no, I can put a 1/4 in front of them. I got that at minimum. Using Loam to go to hand size to Entomb and Omniscience is very exciting to me. The opponent went to 6. Ugh, that's the worst one. The deck plays like 151 drops, and this is the one I wanted to see the least. It's going to get some hits. Can't stop that from happening. I think it's better to use Hedge Maze after Ragavan hits me and try to fix my own draws. Oh, they took an Omniscience. Sad. Rather than try to manipulate what they get to steal. I just don't think that's going to be productive. Blood Moon. All right, well, I'll get a Forest and try to make a game out of this. Shark Typhoon could play a Malevolent Rumble. Looking for Boseiju, Basic Island. There's Boseiju. Okay, stuff the energy at least. The Exiled Hedge Maze. I would have actually liked that. Drawing a land here. If I can make a land drop and Boseiju would be nice. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Well, if that's how it's going to be, then I will just not Boseiju. I could Loam, hit my land drop, Boseiju next turn. What does that even do? Yeah, I think I'd rather Boseiju, untap, Loam 3 lands back. Okay, discard Omniscience to hand size. Ragavan hits me again. Flipped a Lorien revealed that they can cast horrifically. Oh yeah, we're doing it. Who could resist so many cards? End step, kill Boseiju, or kill Blood Moon with Boseiju. Got a Surveil land with that one. Dumped Galvanic Discharge. Okay, Basic Forest, or Basic Island. What does this do? It could block Ragavan with Shark Typhoon, at minimum. I think I want to at least put that counter pressure out there. I need to find a Shifting Woodland and also have 4 mana. Fetch down to 12. There's a good chance that my 1/1 Shark just dies here, but at least making them do stuff on their own turn. They're eating good off my Lorien revealed right now. 7 cards in hand. Drew another Omni. I think I have now seen all of those after seeing none for the first 2 games. Okay, the Ragavan is dealt with. Now what? Soul Guide Lantern. Alright, well, I care a lot about that. Taking my Omniscience. Guide of Souls. Ocelot Pride. Yeah, that Ragavan really just did it all. If they led on Guide of Souls or Ocelot Pride, I think this game is much easier. But now we're so far behind. That thing did what? 8 damage, made 4 mana. Drew a bunch of cards. Okay, I'm gonna play my Loam and see if this will bait out the Soul Guide Lantern. It's both my best play, if it works, and the one that gets around Soul Guide Lantern, if it doesn't. Okay. I can Boseiju Soul Guide Lantern, because I'm gonna have to go to cleanup. I could also just play Fae of Wishes as 1/4 blocker. I think I'm gonna just discard one with the Multiverse. Oh wow, they're just busting for a card. Okay, then I'll discard Omniscience. Fine, twist my arm about it. A Johnny. Den of the Bugbear. Fascinating. I don't think I've ever seen that in a Boros Energy deck. They're pushing 4 damage through. I go to 8. I'm going to fetch to 7 in the end step. Double Bolt doesn't kill me. I do lose immediately to Goblin Bombardment. Okay, end step, fetch. I'm going to get Hedge Maze and hope to see a Shifting Woodland on top of my deck for the win. Shifting Woodland. Alright, Flutterstrand to the bin. They're definitely extremely blessed by the city at this point. Okay, Shifting Woodland off the top. Lights out. I don't have the mana to dredge Loam for 3 looks at it. Just draw. Oh my god. Alright, well. Did we do it? I lose to Thraben Charm if I just go for it. And they have it. But I lose to the board if I just pass and try to play around Thraben Charm. Alright, I mean, this is what's happening. And me without my Spell Pierce as I boarded in. Okay, I have Omniscience. I'm going to use it to cast one with the Multiverse because I want to get them on the hook for whatever interaction they have, and then flash and Hullbreaker over the top and kill them. Tear. Well, that's a 1 mana play. That's still fine. Alright, Hullbreaker Horror over the top of that. It still works. Archmage's Charm, Archdruid's Charm. Search a library for a creature. And bounce, return target spell. Bounce that tear. Get Eternal Witness. One with the Multiverse is on the stack now. They didn't tear me again, why not? Okay. Eternal Witness, cast with Omniscience. I'm holding back these instants because I need them. Or this one instant in my hand. Okay, there we go. They tear it again. I'll cast another instant. Return target spell I don't control. Tear. Oh, there's an instant on top of my deck as well. Sick. Might as well cast this, right? Oh, it's free from your hand with Omniscience, but top of my deck's... Nah, I'll save it. Okay, get Fae of Wishes. Does this matter? I already have everything here. Yeah, I'm actually going to get a Hullbreaker Horror, just to give myself another instant in case I need it. Okay, get back. Does this matter? Not really. I'm going to get back Shark Typhoon, so I have a win con. A Fae of Wishes, granted. Bounce your Cat Warrior token. And take infinite turns. GG. Time warp. 7 minutes is plenty of time to do all this. Okay. I'm going to play the other Hullbreaker now and just delete their board while we're triggering stuff. Shark Typhoon. Get them all out. Eternal Witness. This is a delight when it pops off. I mean, having infinite mana, you should win, however. All it takes is a well-top-decked Shifting Woodland, and you're off. Okay. Bounce Eternal Witness and my opponent's last permanent. And now I'm making 5/5s along the route. Bounce my Witness. Opponent's at 27. I think I'm at 3 turns now. I can stop whenever I want, but I'm having fun. Opponent doesn't want to concede. I'll use my 5 minutes. And I'll cast this Omniscience off the top of my deck with one with the Multiverse. Why not? Okay, I'll start taking all my extra turns. I won't need very many of them, though. This game partially came down to the sick rip of the Shifting Woodland, but it also mattered that I led on something other than Hullbreaker Horror. If I had cast Hullbreaker first, the Wear would have killed my Omniscience, and then I'm dead. So, like, the timing sequencing at the end mattered as well. Like, play to your outs, and then also, like, deliver the game appropriately. Sick match. On to the next one. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, MagicCon, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 2. I'm going to keep this hand. It has my interactive spell, it has half of my combo, and it has the big payoff for my combo. A Plains and a Guide of Souls. Man, am I the only person being creative in Modern right now? Don't they know all the cool cards that were just unbanned? Eternal Witness. I don't think I'm ready for this. Preordain. I'm still going to play Bramble Familiar. Boseiju might be really good this game, so I will just fetch an island. A tapped Parlor. Chain of the Rocks. Okay. Well, I was right about Boseiju. I'll take my damage. Shifting Woodland, what's up? Love seeing you. Omniscience. I'm going to top this. Top. So I can unauthorized exit and surveil the Omniscience. And I'm going to hide the Shifting Woodland. Play Otawara. I just can't change the order of my deck right now. Arena of Glory. Okay, I'm going to bounce Chain to the Rocks. Because that lets me block and kill Guide of Souls rather than just bounce it. Omniscience into the graveyard. Now they can use a removal spell. Alright, cool. That's fine. Oh no! I played the wrong land last turn. No, I didn't. See, Shifting Woodland works. Never mind. I freaked myself out for a second. I do need, like, a card that works here, though. Oh. How about another Omniscience? A Shifting Woodland can turn into Omniscience if I want it to. Omniscience is may cast spells from your hand without paying their costs. That's fine. I can Hullbreaker Horror in combat or like in response to a card they might play. Flage, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to roast their life in combat here. Okay, Omniscience, cast Hullbreaker Horror, block. The only thing they can really do here is Static Prison, which I can beat with Beseju. The old Ambush Viper, the biggest Viper of them all. Oh, Malevolent Rumble. Please, bring it home. I guess I should copy Omniscience again first, and then Rumble. Drown Rusalka, Shark Typhoon. I suppose I'll take Shark Typhoon. And then I'll cast that without paying its mana cost. Okay, they've had enough. Sweet. They don't even want to see the 10/10 Shark I'm about to make. Okay, it's Boros Energy again. I think a low mana Rusalka, just kind of the grindier stuff for 2 spell pierces. I could see Tidebinder, I could see Endurance, I could see another Beseju. Another Beseju. I might have just talked myself into that. Where do I find room for that? What did I cut? Oh, I cut a Witness instead of a Loam. That's what it was supposed to be. I could cut Lorien Reveal so Ragavan can't cast it. Lorien's really slow, but it is a solid way to get a sorcery in the graveyard. It's also great if you get 1 spell to cast with 1 with the Multiverse. Lorien Revealed's a nice one. Okay, I think I'm going to chill on the extra Beseju. Oh wow, this is just basically everything. I'm going to keep... I have this half, and then I have this, plus this. I can play on basic lands for a while. Exit is non-land permanent. It can even bounce a Blood Moon if I need that to happen. Okay. Here's the difference between Guide of Souls and Ragavan. Maybe I was supposed to play Windswept Teeth there. They can't play Blood Moon on turn 2 without Ragavan's help, and I would rather get Hedge Maze, and Windswept Teeth would have done that better. Okay, that was a missequence of my lands for sure. I'm just going to get Hedge Maze anyway here. I'll take my medicine. I don't want to compound errors. I'll keep that Flooded Strand, though. That one protects me from one of the errors. Now I can get Basic Island and carry on with life. I'm going to wait till I have 5 mana, I think, to release the Wind. Just playing into Chain of the Rocks, the removal spell, everything. Why do it? When I could just take 1 damage. A Johnny. Alright, there's that one. A end step, Basic Island, and I could exit the Cat Warrior, or I could grapple with the past. I think I want to take the pressure off and exit the Cat Warrior. Beseju. I don't want that around. I don't need that card right now. Rumble. Alright, we love a Rumble. Fae of Wishes or another familiar. I'll take the Fae. That's an Omniscience to the graveyard. 5 card types. I am ready to bust next turn with the Shifting Woodland now. Don't even need this Bramble Familiar. Does that mean I should play it? I think so. This was 2 damage I didn't need to take. I'm holding the only basic forest I play. Okay, Bramble Familiar, get in. If they spend this turn casting Blood Moon, then I can release the Racoon. If they spend this turn dealing with the Racoon, I can copy Omniscience. Ooh, okay. Just pumping the brakes. They're living in fear. Thraben Charm, exile any number of target players' graveyards. Okay. Do I want to return a creature or land from my graveyard in response? I don't think I want or need to do that. I will just free my familiar and hope there's another Omniscience in the mix. Release you. Fetch quest. Hullbreaker Horror, 1 with the Multiverse. I think I'll just take the Hullbreaker and try to turtle up. I have an instant I can cast, which means I can deal with one of the things they might do. Static Prison. Does it matter when or how I do this? Alright, I'll grapple now. I'll bounce it from the stack. Okay, they've just had enough. Don't want to play anymore. Sick. That one was a lot easier than the first one. 2-0 against Boros Energy.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I am on the play in round 3 with my combo in my hand. However, no real backup plan, and 2 of my 6 payoffs already in my hand. This is going to be pretty soft payoff, but I'm not going to argue with it. Opponent's on 7. Wooded Foothills. You get a Hedge Maze. Drowned Rusalka. I guess I'll keep that on top. If I whiff here, the Rusalka plus Shifting Woodland immediately rebuilds the combo. I'm going to play Familiar. It might get Lightning Bolted. It might get Leyline Bound. Wooded Foothills is kind of a weird fetch land. Opponent's going to have to stop to read it for a second. Yeah, it's a mana dork. Don't worry about it. It's just a big Llanowar Elf. Ever heard of it? A Commercial District. This could be Team or Breach. It could be Creativity. Could be any Wrenn and 6 deck. Just Jund Magic cards. Jund Magic cards confirmed. Okay, well, there's Wrenn. Okay, I can attack and put 2 damage on Wrenn, or I can leave a mana up when I send this thing. I think I'd rather leave mana up. This is kind of a tough crowd. All right, fetch quest. Hit the Omniscience. Let's go. God, I hit 3 Shifting Woodlands, or 2 Shifting Woodlands and a Flooded Strand. Ugh. I'll take the Flooded Strand. That at least plays Rusalka. But I can't activate Rusalka, which is what I need to do. I'll just replay Bramble Familiar. Alright, do you have more respect for this card now, opponent? Fable of the Mirror Breaker. They're gearing up. If I draw a land, an untapped land, either off the top of my deck or off Drowned Rusalka, I can go off right now. That's a land. Okay. Drowned Rusalka. I'll sacrifice a creature. This one. Discard Omniscience to draw a card. Breeding Pool. Copy Omniscience. Okay, now what? I have Archdruid's Charm in the graveyard, so that should do it. Okay. Get back Charm. Charm. Go get Hullbreaker. Hullbreaker. And I can fetch quest again here. I'm going to cast one with the Multiverse first. Bounce Eternal Witness. They have wishes on top of the deck. Well, that just does it. I can cast Granted for free this turn. Bounce your Goblin Shaman. And now I just have infinite turns. Just like that, it comes together. Nice. Okay, so that looks like Creativity we're playing against. Veil of Summer is going to be good here. I could see Flusterstorm being solid. Spell Pierce is a maybe. Shout out Drowned Rusalka, by the way. We did it. But I think I'm still gonna board one of them out. Maybe a Shark Typhoon as well. Sideboarding with this deck is just really hard because every card's important. But part of your sideboard is a wish board that you don't really, it's not meant to be brought in. I think I'm gonna go Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, Veil of Summer for 1 each Loam, Typhoon, Rusalka. Dress Down could buy me some time against a big Creativity. Maybe Dress Down is better than Fluster or a Spell Pierce. Yeah, like Dress Down is assuming they're going to get Archon of Cruelty triggers where these try to stop them from happening. I think I like that plan better. Okay. Light Touch in the sideboard. In we go. The Spell Pierce is here. I hope I don't get Thoughtseized on turn 1. I'm keeping the setup, though. Tap land. Good news. Good news for the good guys. That's me, by the way. If there was any confusion about who the good guys are, it's me. Creativity is not a deck that can play Blood Moon, though. Unless this just isn't Creativity and it's some weird Jund thing. I think I am going to Spell Pierce this. There are spells in their deck that might be scarier than this one, but also, like, let's just not. Okay. Basic Forest, Malevolent Rumble Time. Loam, Rumble, Fluster, found the other island. 3 card types in the graveyard. Oh, both didn't get Delirium and didn't hit anything I'd want to. Copy. But that was the tee up for the turn 3 win. It just didn't happen. Fatal Push. You don't push my creature. I sack it. Moral Victory. A Dredging Loam. Yeah, that actually sounds busted here. That's just more looks at Omniscience and more looks at Delirium. I'll fetch a Hedge Maze. Dump one with the Multiverse. Let's go. There's that Delirium. And I'm going to loan back 2 cards because I want to keep Delirium, and I have exactly 3 lands. Fable the Mirror Breaker. All right. I am going to dredge loam. There's a multiverse in there, but if I can hit Omniscience, it's game. All right, I did not hit Omniscience. Shifting Woodland. What are all the words on this? Not super helpful, honestly. All right, I'm going to copy one with the multiverse and play my Hullbreaker Horror. I could preordain. What would that do? Could set me up better for next turn. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. Ooh, Omniscience. My loam's not in the graveyard. Disappointing. What? How can I use this Omniscience at this point? Oh, I can play it for free off the top of my deck, except that I can't because Preordain doesn't manipulate the cards in that fashion. If this was Ponder, I would win. Unban Ponder, you cowards. Okay, I think I'm going to bottom Eternal Witness and top Omniscience. I know this just... Oh no, I go to fucking cleanup. God, I figured it out. I was about to say I'm hoping that they Arc on me and I can discard it, but yeah, just 8 cards in my hand. That works. Solved it by accident. Okay, gotta dodge Graveyard Hate for a turn. They discarded Terastodon and Fatal Push, played another tapped Dwarven Mine. Now I'm in a really interesting spot where I can punish them at instant speed. Creativity, okay. They just discarded Terastodon. I don't care about Archon of Cruelty. I'll discard this Life from the Loam. Okay, I'm gonna just draw a card. All right, I'll copy Omniscience and then win. Hullbreaker Horror. Drowned Rusalka. Bounce the Archon of Cruelty. Yeah, let's go. Okay, a little sloppy figuring out the line there, but I got it. And even if I did have 5 cards in hand instead of 8, the Archon line that I set up on purpose, which got paid out by hand size by accident, still would have worked. Nice. We remain undefeated. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the draw for round 4. I trust in the Rumble. I'm going to keep Plains. Aether Vial. Okay, I was about to say boring, but that's not a Guide of Souls. I'll allow it. I'm going to play Windswept Heath because that doesn't fetch my basics, which I don't plan on fetching. I mean, it does fetch basics, but Mystery Enforce gets both, and if I'm getting Hedge Maze, this is the worst of the fetch lands in a spot where it doesn't matter. This could be some, like, Leonin Arbiter Ghost Quarter deck. That would be fun. Haven't seen one of those in a minute. Okay, end step, get the Hedge Maze. I don't think the modern card pool can punish a fetch land until 3 mana. Like Aven Mind Sensor, Tashana's Tidebinder, that sort of stuff doesn't really happen until 3 mana. So there's technically like Trick Bind or some stuff that just wouldn't be in decks. Eternal Witness. I actually think I want this card. Though banning it gives me a creature for Delirium, I'm already holding the Shifting Woodland. Yeah, this might be the turn 3 Goldfish, if I can get Delirium on time. Rusalka. Okay, basic Island. Malevolent Rumble. Open Omniscience goes by. Okay, Shark Typhoon. I'll take Bramble Familiar. I do have Delirium, but the best thing I could copy is Shark Typhoon. But I have the Rusalka. If I find an Omniscience anywhere, I'm good to go. Shadowy Backstreet. They kept the card. Basically cheating. Or it's like they didn't surveil, depending on how you want to interpret that in your brain. Recruiter of the Guard. Okay. This is whatever they want it to be, including some Graveyard Hate thing that they might have. Felia. Okay. They're setting up the loop. Be a great time to draw a powerful and relevant card. That qualifies. Okay. I'm going to fetch my basic forest. I could pay for a Leonin Arbiter if they Vile one in. Hope that doesn't happen, but it's solvable. A forest, Ramble Familiar. I'm going to cast this off my token because they could kill my token anyway with Velia. I don't know that they would, but they could. And it's Rusalka time. Here's Aether Vial. We know about the Velia. There could be 4 other 2-drops in this hand. Velia it is, which can loop Recruiter. I can just block Velia. I'm not going to do that, but I don't know if they know that I'm not going to do that. Okay, so they're Fatal Pushing that. I'm going to sack it to Rusalka in response, and I'm going to discard and then immediately Dredge Loam. Looking for that Omniscience. Got it. Cool. Okay, I'm ready to go off, except now they know they should probably tutor Graveyard Hate, maybe, if they can figure out what I'm doing. Also pushed my Rusalka. Corny. It did its job. 2 cards left in hand. They have 2 mana plus Vial on 3 for whatever they're going to tutor for here. I hope they get something Irrel, like Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. Moment of Truth. They can tutor in the end step, a 3-drop. I mean, if they play Archon of Amiri, I'm just dead. I guess that's not even true. Bogger Trawler. Fudge. All right, they figured out what I was up to. Didn't even want to wait to figure out why. Just gone. Nope. No thanks. Smell you never. Okay, so this was 1 turn away. If I was on the play this game, I would have won before this engine kicked in. That's tight. And we're still playing. I haven't conceded. I'm just saying that was close. Okay, I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed for Hedge Maze. I think that's the best way to move this game forward. Hedge Maze, Preordain. Do I want that? Not really. And I'm going to Loam with no targets. Because Dredging Loam in the upkeep is just drawing 3 cards instead of drawing 1. If they flicker their Bogger Trawler, it's whatever. They pretty much have the hooks in here, the perfect tutor every turn while adding pressure. And the Vial, like every part of this worked out perfectly for them. Yep. They're flickering their Bog. If I draw a Racoon, I can send it. I have the requisite 5 mana. There's still... Oh, one got milled. There's 2 of those left in the deck. Fae of Wishes. Ooh, what do you do from here? This can get a non-creature card that I own from outside the game. None of these non-creature cards are helpful right now. Imbaseju could kill Aether Vial. I could wish for Dress Down. I think I'd rather just go to the next game and not reveal that I'm a Wish deck. Alright, they figured out what I was doing though. This is a great Dress Down matchup. Pretty good Consign to Memory matchup too. All their stuff is triggered abilities. Veil of Summer does work on Bogger Trawlers, but only if you have mana. Which is true of all these things. I don't think I'm going to win a long game. Okay, I'm going to bring in these 4 interaction spells and just sort of trim around the edges of my setup spells. I will keep this. It does enough. Hedge Maze. Fae of Wishes. I will keep that around. Zapped in a Witch Meadow for Aether Vial. I think I'm just going to play Familiar. I could play Preordain, play Breeding Pool tapped, and then invest in a future where I Familiar plus Flicker all at once. But in these early turns, I want to kind of put them to the test. If it costs them development to answer my thing, please live in fear. Aether Vial breaks all the mana rules, though, which doesn't bode well for this. But if they had a better land than this one, they would have played it. So I expect either a tap land or another MDFC this round. Yep, there we go. Turned out it was both a tapped MDFC. Okay, Preordain. Hoping to find that. Okay, interesting. I could set up one with the Multiverse starting next turn. That's not the good one, though. I could just Rumble right now. Yeah, I think bottoming Rusalka, drawing Rumble, and then casting it is the best use of my life. Are they going to Mana Tithe me? I don't know. I'm going to play the Ottawara just in case. Rumble. Omniscience, Woodland, Woodland. All right, I'll take a Woodland. There goes a Release to the Wind. And I now have Delirium. I am threatening going off. Kinda. Oh no, it's good. Fae of Wishes for shared summons for Hullbreaker plus Eternal Witness should be able to navigate it. Played Boggart Bog as a Boggart Bog. Does that mean they have 2 of those? Recruiter. Some 2-drop? Graveyard hate thing? What's going on here? Very macabre. Yeah, that works. When are they going to use it? Ooh, Release to the Wind. Well now, if I play Shifting Woodland, I could just attack for 2. Bring the beats. Okay, I think I'm going to pass here. And that Fairy Macabre is just... Ugh. Maybe I should have Released to the Wind before they untapped and represented removal. Yeah, they just don't have to think about Fairy Macabre at all. They just have to leave it in their hand forever. Recruiter of the Guard. Go for it. Emperor of Bones. Just going into the Bone Zone. Okay, whatever Emperor targets. All right, so it's targeting the Omniscience. I'll also target the Omniscience. Maybe this will flush out the Macabre for free, because they were exiling this anyway. Okay, Macabre, exiling 2 things, that's fine. Alright. That almost felt like a good exchange. I don't think it was, but it felt like one. Okay, Release to the Wind, X2. I'm going to play another Shifting Woodland, and I'm going to release this Racoon to the Wind. Even if they have a Solitude, I can release it again. Right, fetch Quest. Okay, that did not hit anything useful. Well, no, this is Fetch Quest, so Shark Typhoon is pretty good. That goes right into play. Deal. I take it back, Shark Typhoon. You're useful. And I can exile Shark Typhoon with another Release to the Wind. So I think I'm just going to pump the brakes and play it slow here. I'm 1 mana short of replaying Familiar and fetching again. If I went up to 3 this turn after being on 2 for a while, Overlord of the Balemark. That picked up a Witch Enchanter or a Solitude. I went for a Witch Enchanter. I love that for me. That makes my Release to the Wind a lot better. Oh, they just played it as a land. Fascinating. Okay. The Bone Zone can take Eternal Witness, which is actually a pretty good card, or Solitude. Okay. You got my Eternal Witness. Okay. Now we're going to my turn again. I'm weirdly 1 mana away from casting one with the Multiverse. I can cast Granted and still have Release to the Wind up. I'm going to do that, start making sharks. 4/4 shark. I think I'd like a Time Warp just fine here. Just overwhelm them in the near future. And step Aether Vial. Skyclave Apparition has no legal targets. Yep, just nothing. Can't exile tokens with that, and Shark Typhoon's a 6-drop. Ephemerate Recruiter. Yeah, that works. I could release Recruiter to the Wind, but that's almost the same as ephemerating it. Witch Enchanter. I'm going to let them ephemerate again, or at least choose their target for ephemerate before I fetch. They're going for Recruiter. I'm going to fetch now before they do something that makes that not an option. Tidehollow Sculler. Well, I don't really want to get Skulled here, and I know they can kill Shark Typhoon. I'm actually going to release my Shark Typhoon to the Wind before Vial goes to 4. That was a really clever solution to this problem, opponent. They can take my Time Warp, but at least my Shark Typhoon is safe. They're entering the Bone Zone again. They could grab their Solitude this turn and get a pretty good attack in. Appears that is the plan, but they already went into combat, so there's just putting that in the bank. Sculler, gonna lose Time Warp, almost certainly. Goodbye, Time Warp. Omniscience, okay. Don't love drawing those. Oh wait, I could put it in the graveyard on a multi-turn line. That costs 2. Okay. So Bramble Familiar and Fae of Wishes. Yeah, discard 2 cards, bounce Fae of Wishes is another line out of here. Now that I have another look at a kind of combo line, kind of want to pump the brakes on my sharks. And I can play Shark Typhoon whenever I want. Not whenever I want, but whenever I could play an enchantment. I can just chill in exile. Okay, going for the end step, Bone Zone, level up. Taking my largest shark, Flicker Wisp. Well, that lets you keep the Solitude forever, if that's even the best thing to do with it. And if they just keep up Witch Enchanter plus Aether Vial, that's really hard to win with Omniscience through. Exiling my Bramble Familiar. which takes me off Delirium, which won't be true once my enchantments are discarded. Go ahead, get a taste. I'm not going to block. Another Vial. So 2 unknowns in the hand. I'm going to let the Solitude come back first, and then see where they point it. I hope they point it at Fae of Wishes. Going after the shark. It's the big sharks. They're scared of size. Okay, Fae of Wishes. Discard Omniscience and one with the Multiverse to bounce this. Another Solitude. Okay, so this kills the Fae of Wishes, which does matter. That's my best spell to cast off Omniscience, especially if I only get 1. Okay, draw for turn. Eternal Witness. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I can make 2 Omnisciences this turn. Okay, I'm going to cast Shark Typhoon without paying its mana cost first. See if I could get them on the hook for this Witch Enchanter. Okay, make my first Omniscience. Oh god, Magic Online. No! No, why? Damn it, Magic Online. This is supposed to be a tapped Omniscience, and now I'm a mana short. Son of a biscuit. Alright, you asshole. Okay, now it's less certain. And now they can exile my Omniscience next turn. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Alright, well, I'll cast this Eternal Witness, lose my Omniscience, and then concede, I guess. Yeah, that was a misclick. God dang it. Okay, how do I recuperate? I have to protect this Omniscience, or I could get a different Omniscience. What if I... Like, they are Hellbent now. They have no engines in play. What if I take Release to the Wind and just try to Bramble Familiar next turn? Alright, I will loan back a bunch of lands. Play another Shifting Woodland and pass the turn. That sucked. I noticed that as soon as it went on the stack and the wrong thing was indicated. Okay, I just have to fade a good draw here. Maybe just like draw a land and we'll be chill. Okay, they're in the Bone Zone. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 damage. I can survive that. They took my Omniscience. Okay, we got some real attacks here. I'm going to trade Shark for Solitude. That stops a bunch of damage and also takes off a really good target for Ephemerate. Okay, I think I want to draw spells this turn, not Dredge Loam. Dress Down plays. Alright, opponent. Did you rip a removal spell? They didn't play a card last turn, so it's a removal spell or it's nothing, are basically the options here. Okay, we're going to fetch quest, which will make a 7/7. I found an Omniscience. Okay, play Omniscience. Bramble Familiar from the Exile Zone. Dress Down represents a cantrip, or is it better to dress them down on their turn because their deck is all creatures? I think I'd rather dress them down on their turn because their deck is all creatures. Arid Mesa from hand. Good chance that is the card that was in their hand last turn. Backstreet. They're exiling a Bramble Familiar, that's fine. And no attacks, let's go. Alright, ship me the cheddar. Overlord breaks up. Wakes up. Breaks up? That's sad. Sorry, Overlord. Were you together a long time? Ooh, speaking of being together a long time. Hullbreaker Horror. Okay, Bramble Familiar does another cool thing, which is discard a card, return it to your hand. I'm going to discard this Forest, and then I'm going to fetch quest with Omniscience. Try not to deck myself here. Hullbreaker Horror. Ah, they've had enough. Okay, sweet. I didn't think I was winning that game. Maybe Tishana's Tidebinder should be in. And I have the Consigns in for the same basic reason. A bunch of Graveyard Hate in now. Sculler, like at least one discard spell in the deck. I think it's still best to just send it as I'm sending it. Yeah, this is still my plan. Let's go. I do appreciate the inevitability of a deck like this, where it's just working, all things are working towards exactly one thing that must happen, and then if it does happen, you win. Well, even despite all those bumps in the road and all the disruption my opponent offered and stopping me multiple times, we eventually got there. I will keep this hand. I have Woodland, Omniscience, Rusalka. That's the combo. Oh, Hedge Maze. Just play that. I was going to fetch it anyway. Right. I don't need a second Rusalka. I need spells that actually win once I have Omniscience. Rest in Peace. That is very good against my entire hand. It doesn't stop fetch quest. You can still fetch, but it's pretty bad against everything else I'm trying to do right now. I've got Besejus in the deck. I can release Rest in the Peace to the Wind to buy myself a window to operate. White Orchid Phantom. Okay. I got basics. Okay, my Hedge Maze dies. Tutor up Forest. Then fetch the other Hedge Maze. Shark Typhoon. I'm going to keep that on top. That could be useful just as a magic card. They're 2/2 first strike, ruling the battlefield at this point. No interaction here. Another one. I have another basic. We're still playing. And the basic enters tapped, so it's not even like I get a 2/2 out of Shark Typhoon here. All right. Thank you for the deck thinning. Now don't flicker those. I'm out. Some more science. I didn't like the science I was already studying. Yeah, Rest in Peace is a hammer. As we saw with the Bogart Bogs and the Fairy Macabres and the Emperor of Bones and whatever, we can wiggle around, build a game plan where it's multiple layers, or we can send it twice. Rest in Peace is just nope. And damage is coming. Flicker Wisp. Uh-oh. Goodbye, lands, for real. Which is a serious shame because 3/3 Shark would have actually stabilized this board. Do I make a 2/2 Shark? Yeah, I think I'm just going to make a 2/2 Shark here, and it can at least trade with Flicker Wisp, I guess. I can sack it to Rusalka. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. Out of basics. You found the end. Consigned in memory. Okay. That's a bit of a conversation as well. I don't hate it. Bramble Familiar. I could invest it. 7 mana, so a long way off. Okay, I'm going to play Familiar. I have Consign and Rusalka activation up. They also have 7 flying power. That's so much. Against my pitiful 13 life. Boggart Bog. Squad's coming in. I'll trade with Flicker Wisp. And I actually do want to trade, not Block Sack, because Block Sack doesn't change the clock that much, where this does. More science. Only 6 mana. Okay, I think I should be Rusalking at this point. I'm going to sack Rusalka to itself. Discard. I can't imagine I need 3 Omniscience in my life. Okay, dress down. Not exciting. And if they play some shit in their main phase, it could become exciting, I guess. They cast Solitude right now. Alright, I guess I can dress down right now. And then this sticks through their turn. Okay, now they have an untapped 2/2 instead of a tapped one. Probably don't even send back the Ephemerate. Nope. Yeah, not going to block here. They correctly identified that's not what I'm about. I have to draw Release to the Wind. Wins, wins, wins. I'm at 5. Which means this Flooded Strand doesn't work anymore. Am I even supposed to cast that? It doesn't. I guess if they flash in a Solitude, I need it. Because my only hope this game is to draw Release to the Wind next turn at 1 life and stabilize somehow. Felia. Okay, that can try to clear a blocker and then I stifle it. Or I stifle the re-entry trigger. Or they just play some other triggered ability and make this a non... like, just completely slaughter me. I wonder if I could have bought more time if I waited until I had a 3/3 Shark. It was a long way off and they were hitting really hard. I don't know. That's close. The good news is I don't care about my lands. If they want to take damage off the clock to flicker their White Orchids, that's a deal. Okay, getting in for 4. Leaving Felia back home. I'm dead to an Orcish Bowmaster at this point. A Collective Brutality. Just thinking about cards that they might conceivably have. Alright, Release to the Winds off the top. Finds Hullbreaker Horror. Maybe stabilize? Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is... yeah, I mean, they destroyed, what, 3, 4 of my lands this game? GG. Cool. Alright. Yeah, Rest in Peace. That's how you shut down a deck like this one. Though I do, like I said, Release to the Wind was a plan around it. Shark Typhoon was a plan around it for a little while, and then they started killing my lands. I played a bunch of Besejus. I play Ottawaras. Like, this was solvable. Just didn't happen this game. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in the final round. Positive record is locked, playing for the bread and butter 4-1. Hand with a ton of selection. I'm in. Lands to cast my spells. Eldrazi Temple. All right. We got a cop. Well, maybe the cop was drawing the second Omniscience all along. Kozilek's Command is just a card that these decks have, too. Passive main deck graveyard hate. Edge Maze. Dump a Breeding Pool. I'm going to play out the Woodland, even though that does kind of reveal what I'm up to. I'll take Drowned Rusalka. Suddenly wishing I had another blue source. All right, making spawns and digging. They're going big. Prismatic Vista. Okay, am I going to get hit with an Emrakul right now? It could happen. They bottom their Scry. Ancient Stirrings is not through the breach. That's good news. Racoon. My flesh. Springleaf Drum. I would have cast that after Glaring Fleshraker myself. But what do I know? Okay, Stirrings. Another Forest. Okay, so this could be Brood-Scale combo. It almost certainly is, actually. Not Eldrazi. There's the Raker. I can set up a win. I guess if I dredge right now and hit Omniscience. Dredging's pretty good here, actually. I hit a Hullbreaker Horror. I have Delirium. I think I would rather Life from the Loam. Bunch of lands back. And then I can get an island here. Play Rusalka. Discard Omniscience to hand size. And they are in check, but they are also a combo deck. I guess, since I'm discarding to hand size anyway, I can cast Preordain here. That's kind of freebies. All right, Preordain. Bottom shifting Woodland. Top unauthorized exit. Not that that helps specifically right now. I guess leaving up Boseiju was the safest thing to do there. Yeah, if I lose this turn, I deserve it. Karn the Great Creator. That doesn't stop what I'm doing. If they wish for Pithing Needle and name shifting Woodland, that cost me a turn, but now I'm glad I have the exit. Tormod Script. Okay, yeah, that also is clever and works. Are they just going to zap me with that immediately? They are. Okay. Well, that makes Rusalka a player. Okay. So I'll just wait a turn. Rumble gives me 1, 2, 3 mana. Yeah, that's a little too heavy. Okay, I can go land, creature, enchantment, instant. Yeah, I can guarantee Delirium this turn if I'm alive. Which, of course, is a big if. I'm going to attack Karn. All their creatures are 0/1s. You can lose a mana or lose a loyalty. I accept either outcome. Okay. We're so close, team. They keep playing lands that are not the forest I know about. I like that. Blade of the Bloodchief. I have 2 answers to that in my hand. Fleshraker puts me to 13. Asking Brood Scale. So the correct time to do this is in response to equip. Sacking for mana and equipping. Alright. They have 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on board. I think I'm safe to fetch with the bounce spell in my hand. Get this basic forest and Boseiju the Blade. They'll take 2. End of turn. I think out of mana efficiency, I want to grapple with the past. Grapple. I'm just looking for something that is a different card type. Okay, I hit an instant. I'll take Boseiju back and then go off. Okay, I'll play Boseiju. Sack Rusalka. Their 1 card in hand would have to be like their own Boseiju, I guess. Discard Omniscience, draw a card. Shift into Omniscience. Okay, I have Omniscience. I think I want to Rumble first. I want to give them 1 priority pass to try to interact while I still have instants in my hand. I'll take this back up Omniscience. I'll cast that. Now I don't care about removal. And we're off. Search for a creature. Witness. Witness. Search for a creature. Hullbreaker Horror. Hullbreaker. Granted. Bouncing Eternal Witness. Get the Time Warp. And we're out of here. Sweet. Okay, out-comboed that deck. Boseiju definitely coming in. Consigned to Memory coming in. I'm going to cut a Loam. It might be controversial, but I'm going to cut a 1 with the Multiverse. That card just doesn't really convert to winning. And we're in a combo matchup that's about survival first. Tidebinder plays here. I mean, Dress Down also plays here. It depends how much I want to turtle up and play the control deck. I think I want these 4 cards for sure, and the Dress Downs are just maybes. I will take the cards I know I want and just leave it a light touch. Let's go. I have a strong interactive plan here. I'm going to keep it. Ancient Stirrings. Fleshraker in the can. Omniscience in hand now. Urza's Saga. That will someday be a Blade of the Blood Chief. I'm going to counter this thing. They have the straight line to Blade at this point. Let's get the Brood Scale out of the way. And by flushing out my interaction, I also get to play Bramble Familiar now. I could also Rumble. Nah, I'm going to Familiar. Give me something on this board. Eldrazi Temple. We know there's a Fleshraker over there. There it is. 4 cards left. Blade. Okay. Really glad I fought over the Brood Scale. Still pretty scary, though. Okay, I can Malevolent Rumble and then see where things stand. I'm going to do that. Okay. Milled 3 spells. I'll take the land that I was given access to. And there is another island in the deck. I'm going to give up some information, but keep the better fetch land. Because if I have to fetch basic island this turn to stay alive with unauthorized exit, I'm going to do that. I am not going to fetch in response. This is a conscious choice. If they get Pithing Needle on this board, then their hand's already rolled up. Ghost Vacuum. Yeah, that card's effective. Second Brood Scale. You hate to see it. Okay, I will bounce this. All right, you're going to make an unauthorized exit. If they have a green source in their hand... Oh, Release to the Wind. Put out on top. Okay. Don't kill me. How about that? I do just lose to Forest right now. I think they have a land drop. Yeah, that's not a Forest. Let's go. Nice deck. Can't even cast your spells. Well, they have me in check again. I can YOLO Fetch Quest, or I could leave up Otawara to Time Walk another turn. I think I'm going to YOLO Fetch Quest here. Sucks that there's an Omniscience already in the grip, but that's always going to suck. All right. I release you. Oh no, they have the Kozilek's command. Okay, so I'm super dead in every possible way. That's all you had to say. You didn't have to rub it in like this. Okay. Well, I'm literally dead and can't use Otawara here. Okay. I think my plan's still my plan here. I just get to be on the play this time. Let's get it. I will keep this hand for sure. I'm just going to play Breeding Pool tapped. I don't think there are cards I need to counter on turn 1. I mean, like Ghost Vacuum would be obnoxious. But if they just play Ancient Stirrings or nothing, then I'm glad I have my tap land in. A Wastes. I'm just going to shove Bramble Familiar because I have the turn 3 Goldfish here with the release. And I don't think holding up Consigned to Memory with no land drops to give is a path forward. Okay, we're both just sprinting to the exit. I respect that. Hedge Maze. That can give me 1 card's worth of selection. Okay, I will do that. A second release. That's not what I want. It's not literally Omniscience, therefore I'm not interested. All right, Fetch Quest, Omniscience. No! Oh, we just hit literally nothing. Okay, I will take back Misty Rainforest, because that can at least consign to memory something this turn. What a blank. Okay. Well, that was the moment. I can fend them off for 1 or 2 turns here. I can consign something this turn, then Eternal Witness gets back, consign. All right, I'm just going to consign here. These are all pieces of the combo. I'm at 17, and fair game begins now. Another Release to the Wind. Maybe someday. Eternal Witness. Get back consigned to memory. Gonna have to counter the Urza's Saga search trigger and hope that none of the 6 cards in their hand are the sword. Another Saga. I have 3 turns on that one. 4 mana in the pool. Karn would be a beat for sure. If I draw a land off the top, though, I can Release to the Wind Bramble Familiar again. We can take another spin. Just untapped land off the top. Does that immediately. They grab the Tormod script. Big draw. Untapped land off the top. Fudge. Hullbreaker Horror is not what I wanted. Okay, we lose to Karn next turn. Except I can attack it here. And then it's either too low to wish or the Brood Scale's dead. Either one is an outcome I accept. Okay, Karn's at 1. I'm going to cast Bramble Familiar and just cross my fingers for 1 turn. I could have released to the wind my Eternal Witness, get back Consigned to Memory, try to survive another turn, but Tormod's Crypt beats that line, and even if they didn't have the Tormod's Crypt, I think that's worse than trying to actually win. Mana in the pool. Rumble, that card's really good. They didn't hit a Blade, though. You're saying there's a chance. I have it all if I can get an Omniscience. I'm 20 cards deep and haven't seen one yet. They took the Vista out of that pile, and now it's in play. They cannot kill a 2-drop with Kozilek's Command right now. If they have Boseiju, that would get me. Okay, do not Dredge Life from the Loam. Do not draw Omniscience. Okay, it didn't do either of those things. Good news. Okay, does my land matter? I think it does. Just get something that's not Omniscience out of the deck here is all I need to do. Would I rather have mana available afterwards or get an extra selection now? I think the whole game is happening right now. Hedge Maze, Shark Typhoon. I don't have any spells to cast, and they forgot to plus their Karn. That's good. But I'm dead next turn anyway, so Shark Typhoon is not going to help me. Alright, I just have to send Bramble Familiar into the wind and hope they don't have Dismember. Okay, we're in the wind. Go fetch. Omniscience. No! Nothing! 30 cards into my deck with no Omniscience. Okay, so I'm just dead. Literally deceased. Yeah, there's nothing to be done here. I guess they have an infinitely large creature next turn, but that doesn't quite kill me on its own. What the hell, deck? Yeah, all this shit sucks. Okay, I'll get Shark Typhoon, I guess. I'll put that into play. I will redeploy Bramble Familiar as the creature mode. And I will pass the turn and hope that even if they make an infinitely large creature, they can't do infinite damage. I have blockers. All right, my graveyard's gone. They just zap that right off. There. Yeah, if they had plus Karn last turn, they could have 2 blades here, and that is infinites. So this is infinite mana and an infinitely large creature. They have 5 cards in their hand. If there's a Karn over there, that'll do it. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so flipped 30 cards in my deck without seeing an Omniscience, that one. And that had 2 wide open swings at it, and the deck just didn't deliver. Positive record, though. I'm pretty happy with how this goes. Andy has done a lot of work on this. He's been updating me on his process. All the cards are carefully considered, even the weird-looking ones. And we saw basically everything do its job here. I just really wish there was a card better than one with the Multiverse we could play. This just doesn't actually combo. It does help you find an Omniscience by clearing the top of your deck, and even just dropping in Hullbreaker Horror and crossing your fingers that it doesn't die could swing a game early. Just the difference between this card and this card is preposterous. They read similarly, but it is not even close. Hullbreaker Horror was great. Shark Typhoon was fine. I love all the routes to the combo. Malevolent Rumble, Shifting Woodland, what an insane package that is, as we've seen in other combo decks, like the one we played against in the last round, that can also be constructed with Woodland, and it definitely plays Rumble. Drown Rusalka did its job. 2 somehow felt like the right number of preordains. Cool. The deck is good as doing what it does. You just kind of have to hope that if you're not on the deterministic Shifting Woodland line, that the fetch quest delivers. We had a lot that did, and then we had a couple clutch ones that didn't. And when you miss, boy, does it feel bad. But when you hit, boy, does it feel good. I'm going to leave this here. This was a lot of fun. Andy, thank you for sharing it again. Deck's feeling pretty solid. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.